Hold on, Glenn. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah, thank you so much. I do understand the urgency of getting this stuff going as fast as possible. And moving forwards, like the H&I, in suburban Essex area of New Jersey, we have somewhere, between 14 or 16 active H&I commitments. And I've been on every one except the all-female commitments. Now I'm thinking maybe it would be okay to, on Zoom panels, to have male speakers and female commitments. Also, I think this is something in the future that I think will actually ease the burden of clearance of people going to the Essex County Jail.
Absolutely.
There are people with criminal backgrounds that aren't allowed in, and there's people that have no criminal backgrounds that are allowed in but don't want to go in because they've never been there. So I think, for some facilities, this will continue way after the pandemic is over. And I think you're absolutely right. It can open up new things, and some things will continue. But just along those lines, I'm also on activities, and we're going to host some virtual activities. So I'm thinking, rather than put it in my name, maybe we really should create a Suburban Essex Activities Subcommittee Zoom account and hook it up to the area level email address.
Well, and something to think about too is that the account exists based on the payment source that it's connected to, right? So, and so that's one way that it actually exists. And then you have the login information, but you also have a host key, which you can submit to other people to access if the host can't be at the meeting. Like on Zoom, they have a host key. Jay and Steve can probably tell us about Blue Jeans here in a minute, but yeah, that's useful too, is like having extra copies of the key for your home group to get into the building to open the meeting. You have 2 or 3 keys, if you lose access to the building, which would be the credit card that's associated to the account, that's one thing. But if you only need another key to get in the building, consider what will be some best practices for handing out that information.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Thank you. We're going to go to Alicia, then Yazzie. Go ahead, Alicia.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
I'm just talking, note for myself later. Okay, so I'm an addict, Alicia. I live in Arkansas, and I guess I have 2 questions that I haven't heard discussed, since I think there's a lot of the same stuff. So I wanted to ask, through this whole situation, I've started to come across more and more websites that have links to NA that are not links to NA. So, for example, like the American Bar Association or the mental health, people, and they're linking to treatment centers who have meetings, but the link is saying like Narcotics Anonymous. And I wanted to find out, does anybody have access to or willing to help develop a template letter or email to be able to send to some of these websites so that we can get that changed? That's my first question.
All right, yeah, let's address that immediately. Fellowship Services, Steve R. That's his.
So Steve R at NA.org. NA.com. That's Steve, who you want to talk to.
Steve at NA.org is his email, and him and the Fellowship Services team are responsible for protecting the NA name in the public. They have all those kind of form letters. We have called and connected them with facilities that were using the NA name or the symbol and stuff, and they did their job. They called and they took care of it. So I would bring that up to them and see, at very least, even if they can't track them all down, that they could give you some kind of written communication that you could use and adapt in that situation.
His email is just posted in the chat right now. He'll be so thankful to hear from us.
Oh, is there R on the end of it? I didn't know that. Yeah. Okay, maybe he's got 2 then.
Steve, if you get this, I love you, man.
All right, go ahead, Alicia. What's the other one? Hold on a second. We got something going on with your audio.
It's my damn laptop mutes me. So the second question is anybody considering hosting or putting on any kind of PR panel? Because now everything is virtual, right? So now you don't necessarily have to have in-person people to do the panel. And so I think this is a prime opportunity to be able to put on some type of PR panel where we can invite professionals to talk about, you know, how to reach out to the resources, how to find the virtual meetings and all that kind of stuff.
Would you like to help organize this?
So that's
I
what
will.
I would say. You just volunteered for PR week. But no, I mean, yeah, you know what? We've been talking about this for the Multi-Zonal Service Symposium in San Antonio in September, the weekend of the 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. Our PR professionals on Friday. Me and Pat P are responsible for that event, and we've already begun inviting professionals from all over Texas and other parts of the country that we and think trust that you already have and relationships that you've already built, because people who trust you and they know that you have their best interests at heart and that you are professional are willing to try these new things because we already have a relationship. So think about doing a small local event with maybe 4 or 5 people that you already know, and then think about maybe a zonal event, and then let's talk about World Services and the board and Jane and all them. We've been bringing that up to them for a long time, but nobody had the vision, because we didn't have. You have to approach experienced members on a one-on-one basis and train them how to use this technology. Well,
Yeah.
now almost all those people have a basic understanding, and you only need a couple of really skilled people to do the back end and facilitate it. And then we just feature our experienced members. But to answer your question, yes.
Well, especially now, because a lot of these professionals are being required to do telemedicine. So now they're having to be trained on this type of technology, and a lot of them are using Zoom and the FDA and all the different requirements for HIPAA have been loosened for telemedicine because of all of this. So they're all being trained on a lot of this anyway. But I was thinking something like a couple hour time slot where, you know, like if you're an attorney, here's your time slot. If you're a, you know, treatment center, mental health, whatever. So maybe even having specific time slots to address specific professionals.
Dude, I'll raise you 5. Think an instructional video set with all the basic information, and then a weekly or monthly meeting for the Q&A above and beyond the basic information.
I like it.
Like situational stuff. Because when we think about like what a website does for us, like when we transition into websites and how much information we could put on a website and then funnel everyone to the website, you know, well, we can do that. We have the video technology now to do these types of presentations, record them, and let the professionals access them at any time. Because if they have to come ask us and we have to schedule, that means that we have to be free and they have to be free. But if we make recordings of content that we can all agree on, then that can be available to these professionals at any time. And then the extra stuff that can be taken care of in email or other stuff, we could set up a rotating schedule of like frequently asked questions or, you know, just a general meet and greet. I mean, we can do a lot.
I like it. Well, if anybody, I'm going to put my email in the chat box. So if anybody wants to get on board with trying to set up something or volunteering to possibly speak, let me know.